right, so this is what we're going to do. All right, in your account right now, I'm sure that you have, data that is whatever you find is a list. I'm not going to tell you which list or which data right now. Feel free to talk to the REISift community and kind of narrow that down. But D4D data is fantastic to start doing this with. The reason why is because we can bring in fresh stuff on a weekly basis. Okay, that's the reason why. It's fresh stuff on a weekly basis. So what you're going to do, and I'll just say, I'm going to say D4D, but realize that you can do this with tax delinquency and stuff like that. I just know the Northeast got some weird stuff with their code enforcement stuff, tax delinquency and stuff. So I'm not going to try and say that I know what that is, but I know D4D, either way, we can work with that. So we're going to D4D. Okay, we're going to get at least a minimum of the 50 to 100 properties new a week if we can maintain that. Okay, you're going to look at your budget on what you can afford. We're going to get rid of every other software product or whatever that you're using besides Deal Machine and REISift and Aircall.
Okay.
You only need those three things. That should cost you right around $300 a month or so. $350 a month from a systems place. Okay. And for someone in where you're at right now, especially with your life and everything that you got going on, overhead is really important to keep down. We want less than $500 a month from a software tools perspective, because we want most of that budget to be in the marketing expenses. Okay. So now we're going to filter by our data. We're going to get D4D stuff. We're going to mail on a monthly basis every single month. Okay. You're going to get all your D4Ds and you're going to send mail to it. If that is 1,000, okay, then it's 1,000, but it obviously has to be within your budget. If your budget is only $500 a month that you can do in, direct mail, okay, then narrow it down, 42 or 43 cents a postcard. I'm going to tell you, until REISift has this capability to send the direct mail internally in bulk, which is on our Q1 planning this year, for now, just use REI Print Mail. There's a link inside the SIFT Dojo, inside your account. There's to go directly there. I think it gives you 10% off or something like that. So just use a standard postcard. Don't give a shit about what the postcard is. Don't do the big one. Just do a regular, simple postcard. Okay, it's going to be like 43 or 45 cents or something like that a postcard. So for 1,000, it's going to cost you $500 to send. You're going to do that every single month. Okay, when you have the time, okay, outside of this, when you have the time, outside of after you do your lead follow-up, because you're going to forward these to Call Porter. Call Porter is going to answer the phone. They're going to send you the leads. You're also going to request from Call Porter that any of the wrong numbers, any contact gets sent to you, because you want to update your data so that you don't send mail to those anymore. Okay?
Okay.
So you're going to get leads. At the end of the day, you're going to, I got a lead to follow up with. You're going to make sure that Call Porter understands that you are a nurse. And so you cannot follow up with them until after you get done for the day. You need the seller to understand that you are a solo individual that is looking to build their rental portfolio. And so you can only call them after you get done at the hospital. Be transparent in the fact that you are an investor in a W-2. Okay. The reason why is because what you don't want is them thinking that you're negligent, right? The seller, and you try to call them back at 8 o'clock. Okay. And so make sure that communication is there. All right. So once that's done, what's good is if you can have some form of automation to send a text message, say, hey, they just sent lead over. I am at work still. I'll give you a call back as soon as I can. Something like that would be great. However, they can set the tonality for that for you. Okay. So again, summarizing, you're going to take D4D. You're going to add in at least 50 to 100 new D4D a week, as many as you can do. Just do it as a time stamp. Like, okay, I got an hour. I'm going to D4D. Add the properties in. Don't care about what it is. Don't care about if it looks like it's super fucked up or if it's not super fucked up. What you're looking for is that things that need done. You see the property. Oh, it needs roof. Oh, it needs windows. Oh, it needs this. So you're gonna add it, but then you're gonna have tags in Deal Machine. Oh, roof, gutters, grass. You're just going to tag everything that you see about that property. You're building a database. You're building a visual database about your local area. That's what you're doing when you're D4Ding. Okay. They could have low equity. They could have high equity. It doesn't really matter, because right now we're just creating opportunity. We're creating inbound. We're getting consistency. Okay. We can refine it later. Okay. So once we do that, you add the D4Ds, hour a week, whatever, that goes into the system. Once it's in the system, it automatically goes from Deal Machine to REISift using Zapier. It's in REISift now. You're going to select those records that are clean. You're going to export them. You're going to upload them to REI Print Mail. That's going to have a tracking number that you are giving, that Call Porter gives you to send to them, or however that works. Reach out to Call Porter for that. Call Porter is then going to send you leads. You can create a Google web form that goes right into REISift and updates REISift, and you give them that Google web form link, and every time a lead gets in there, it will create it, creates the task for you or whatever to follow up, right? So once that's done, we now have the whole automation done, right? Okay, all you need to make sure that you do is send the direct mail and do the driving, right? Those are the two things you need to do. That's your responsibility right now, which is about an hour and a half or whatever a week. All right. As we continue to grow, we can offload the whole driving thing, and then we just got to make sure we send the mail. As we continue to grow, we have somebody else that sends the mail, or even better, REISift, once we release our stuff, we'll automatically be able to send the mail for you because you can put it on a recurring sequence based off filters, right? So understand that. Any questions with that quick flow right there? Because there's a little bit more.
Oh yeah, no, I love that idea. I have to figure out how to set up like the Zapier integrations and stuff.
That's the easy one. We have a video on it on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, okay.
Perfect. Okay, so now you have it. You have records coming in on a weekly, so you're sending out to everybody, and then on a weekly basis, you're adding a new opportunity, right? So you're continuing to hit new people while continuing to hit the whole D for D list on a monthly basis. And now you're creating some inbound stuff to your Call Porter. They're giving you some leads, but you still have more time. You can handle more than that. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to take that driving for dollars list. You're going to filter it by the most valuable records to you, the ones that are maybe pre-foreclosure, D for D, or whatever other list that you got, the stacked data and the vacant data. And that's where you're going to Sensei flow those. You're going to just call those numbers. Skip trace them, call them. Okay. And you're going to do that, to at least 50 records a week. You don't have to hit 50 a day. You just got to get through some of them a week, whatever it is. Ideally, you start getting caught up to where that's going to be those new records that you're doing in Deal Machine. The new ones that you're adding weekly, those are the ones you probably will want to start tackling.